Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about the sale of the Eberron content on as a digital product by Wizards of the Coast, and whether and if that decision came from Wizards of the Coast being affected by the corporate choices of Paizo with Pathfinder 2E. I think the answer is yes, but let's get into it. All right. So here's my supposition. I think that Eberron is being sold as a PDF right now in a half-baked configuration, specifically because Paizo made a hardcover Pathfinder 2E playtest book that they sold like hotcakes. All right. So here's the issue. Right now, Eberron, Keith Baker's Dungeons & Dragons setting, is being sold as a digital product. There is no hardcover promised at this point, okay? It's being sold as a digital product. You can also buy the elements of it piecemeal on D&D Beyond, okay? So you can get this PDF. You can purchase it right now through DriveThruRPG, or you can buy it as a package on D&D Beyond, or you can buy it piecemeal on D&D Beyond. But the reality is, the product says right on it. It says this is not an official setting for Dungeons and Dragons. This material is still being balanced with and is not legal in D&D Adventures, right? It can't be used in the D&D Adventures League, right? And it's saying that this is essentially like Unearthed Arcana material, where a dungeon master can choose to put this into her current game system, but it's not promised to be balanced, and it's not fully configured like Storm King's Thunder, right? Storm King's Thunder is an official adventure. You can put that down at the table. It's considered canon within the Dungeons & Dragons universe. Eberron does not have that. It is being sold for money, but it's not a finished product. This is new for Wizards of the Coast. This has never happened before within the history of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, to my knowledge. I've never seen anything like this, right? And I think the reason why there's a couple reasons when you see something new, you want to parse it. You want to say, why is this happening, right? So there is one impetus that could have caused this, and that is the recent fall of Toys R Us. Toys R Us, the very last national toy chain in the United States of America, closed its doors last month, okay? And that was a huge problem for Hasbro, who owns Wizards of the Coast, who owns Dungeons & Dragons, because Hasbro is a toy company. And if you have, somebody who is a major distributor for your content, and now that distributor is closing its doors, it prompts you to find as many new revenue streams as you can. And I'm convinced that the Hasbro suits said to every single team lead, and Mike Merles is a design team lead, said, what can you do to get money out of your product right now? And if you don't have a really good answer for that, I'm going to find somebody who does. I really think that's what happened. Purely speculation on my part, right? I have no proof of that, but I think that's what happened. And the reason why I think that happened is it has absolutely nothing to do with Dungeons & Dragons. It has to do with large corporations and just the structure, right? And so basically, especially American corporations, right? So you have this structure, right? And so basically, now Eberron, what is content that has already been published. Now, I think there's a little bit of new content in there, but the vast majority of this content has already been published through Unearthed Arcana. Now, Unearthed Arcana is a free product that comes out. So here's the thing. When I get Unearthed Arcana content and I get a Warforged through Unearthed Arcana, it's free and it's a delight, right? When I get Eberron now as a digital product and it's $20 for half-baked content, that's not a delight. That's a serious problem. That looks to me like the scourge of of the video game world, where there's such a passionate urgency for the players to see every little bit of the game that's coming, that they'll pay for half-baked content, right? Now, generally, it's my opinion that people who play TRPGs at the macro level are a lot smarter than people who play video games. And there's a whole lot of reasons for that, right? But the biggest one is if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you've read 250 pages of rules minimum. That's whereas if you play video games, you know how to hold a controller. There's a difference there. It's a filter, okay? And I was thinking, that kind of DLC nonsense that can't fly in the TRPG community. Well, it's flying, all right? Like, that flag has been hoisted up hoisted up. Now, the reason why I think this is happening is Paizo has started this as well. They announced Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is its own old ball of wax, right? And people are excited about it, right? And they said, hey, we're going to take our playtest material and we're going to bind it and sell it to you as a hardcover. Now, this is crazy talk. This is crazy talk. And why is this crazy talk? Playtest material is trash. Trash. It should go into the garbage, right? You use the playtest material to get the rules hammered out, right? And then the real book comes out, and you throw all that crap that was in a bunch of binders, you throw it in the trash where it belongs. You don't bind it like it's a product and put it on the shelf next to real product. It's wrong. It's a bad model. It's a bad precedence, right? Now, this is coming to Dungeons and Dragons, right? And I believe that Wizards of the Coast felt that they had license to begin selling Unearthed Arcana, half-baked material, to players and dungeon masters because Paizo is doing it already and has opened this door for the entire industry, right? So I think that is why people right now are paying real dollars for what is essentially trash, right? Like, basically, that material should be useful to dungeon masters and players until the real game is available. And until then, we are giving them a service of play testing it. No one should be paying Wizards of the Coast to give them the service of helping them to figure out what their product should look like, right? It was the right model of Unearthed Arcana to give this out for free when the content was a delight. But when you're paying for it, that seems like a thumb to the nose. Like, that just seems like Wizards of the Coast thumbing their nose, right? Which I don't really think is a Wizards of the Coast behavior model. I think that's a Paizo behavior model, and I don't even think it was a Paizo behavior model before 2E, right? They really didn't sit. This is new. This is the pains of the video game industry coming to haunt us on the TRPG side, right? So now the reality is, here's the thing, right? No one is required to buy these, right? So it's not a deep cut, right? It's not a deep cut for the Pathfinder community or the Dungeons & Dragons community, but is a step in the wrong direction, right? And I think people just need to realize what is happening. This is trash sold as a product, right? That's not good. That's not good, right? And, I just don't think we should be going down this road. And I think it's important for dungeon masters and players to realize that when they're playtesting something, they should not be paying for that privilege. The people who are receiving that playtest feedback, there's value in that, right? You should not be like paying in order to give something to someone else, right? So I just feel it's really important. Paizo opened the store with a Pathfinder 2E playtest hardcover. That's crazy. I just think that's crazy. And now it's coming to D&D with the Eberron PDF, which is half-baked content being sold for $20, right? And it's a really bad model. I just don't think we should be doing this, and I think Paizo opened the door for this. Wizards of the Coast is now walking through the door that Paizo owned. That's my take. I'd really be happy to hear what you guys think. And please consider liking and subscribing. Take care.